Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 13th of May. My name's Phillip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, big weekend in Melbourne real estate, the Mother's Day weekend.
You've got to love the Mother's Day weekend. Did you look after your mother yesterday?
I did. Both my mother-in-law and my mother did the right thing.
You're a good boy, aren't you?
Do you know, try to be the best son and son-in-law I can possibly be, Gary.
Excellent. And there's no doubt that you are, Phillip. You are the benchmark.
And what about you? Did you take your mum out?
I did. I caught up with my mother and my mother-in-law, yes. Got my mother some fresh orange juice at the market, Phillip. She loves that.
You got your mother some fresh orange juice at the market. Was she at the market with you?
No, she wasn't with
me. So it was fresh when you got it at the market, but by the time you got it to her home, what, it's an hour or two old?
Not really. I got it in January, but it doesn't matter. Let's just talk about the weekend that was, Phil. It wasn't a very, very busy one, but in terms of the success, it was pretty good, wasn't it?
Well, the clearance rates, industry clearance rate of 70%, which was pretty good industry.
Yeah.
But we smashed it again with an 83% clearance rate.
What was that, Phil?
83%.
Get those towers up, industry 70%. Us 83%, 5 out of 6, Phillip. Pretty good going. Let's talk about some of those auctions.
Having said that, Gary, 6 auctions for us in a weekend is a very small auction offering.
Sleepy Hollow.
So we obviously can have a big weekend this weekend.
We've got 16, I think, this weekend. It's a bit more like it, isn't it?
Quite a small weekend last weekend. Yep. What do you want to talk about from the results from last weekend?
Well, I think we should talk. Well, it's not going to take long to whip through 6 auctions, Phil. The first one was in Hawthorn Road, number 493 Hawthorn Road.
I believe you did a great job there.
I think I did all right there, Phillip. We were looking at somewhere in that sort of high 6s through to mid 7s. The reserve was just a little bit over the mid 7s, but would have been adjustable down, no doubt. Very competitive auction, just 2 buyers just going at it. There was another couple of buyers there, Phil, but they didn't get a look in, so it sold for $837,000. And congratulations to the buyer, the most delightful buyer, whom I know both families. They actually 2 families.
You're such the local agent, aren't you, Gary?
Well, there I was. Yeah.
Interesting what you just said. I'm just going to pick up on a point about how you had 2 bidders that were going competitively at it.
They were.
They're actually on that auction list of buyers that we thought would perform. There are actually 5 people on that list.
There are 5.
And often viewers, what you see is 2 people getting into a bidding duel, which sometimes just means the others don't get an opportunity to have a look in. So 2 competitive bidders at that auction, but there are actually 5 people there wanting to buy it. But sometimes these things move so quickly, or buyers' strategies are to sit back sometimes. So what our viewers might not necessarily know is that there were a lot more bidders at that auction. They just didn't get a chance to perform.
What you see bidding isn't always an indication of depth of interest. Phillip, in Fulton Street, Jeremy Rosen sold a property. He passed it in at $477, I think it was. Sold it pretty quickly after auction for $515,000. So congratulations to the vendor, whom I also happen to know is a lovely lady, and of course to the buyer. Bought a wonderful apartment there. Then went up to Bamborough Road, Phil. Didn't sell that one. Passed in at $700,000. The reserve there is, I think it might be $789,000.
Yep, something like that.
Thereabouts. So that'll be a buy.
That's a good property, absolutely, because there's a lot of sales evidence to suggest that $750 to $850 now is the going rate for single-fronted houses like that.
Hard to get them under 8 now, isn't it,
so price to sell.
Price to sell, and no doubt will, Phillip. So that was Saturday. Where were you Saturday?
Well, Saturday, Gary, I had a few bits and pieces to do, which is code for I wasn't working.
Fair enough, but you were on Sunday, Phil, and in fact, I was going to come and join you at the auction, but I got just busy with Mother's Day stuff and didn't get there, but I hear it was a good one.
That was a 10:30 start on Sunday morning. We had a crowd of about 50 or 60 people. Nice, bright, clear, beautiful day.
It was, fresh and crisp.
We were handing out lovely lint ball chocolates. So
for Mother's Day,
getting the buyers in the spirit of Mother's Day. That was an interesting sale, Gary, because we had 3 people bid for this house. So we'd identified 3 parties, 3 people bidding for it, and they're all pretty much within $20,000-$30,000 of each other. Reserve was $1.6 million. We sold that for $1,673,000.
You did.
Now, interesting story to the buyer. The buyer was a gentleman from Cairns that was moving from Cairns to Melbourne. But
gotta watch those Cairns buyers. They can do anything.
But specifically to Caulfield North, and specifically to wanting to be walking distance to Balaclava Road and the Caulfield North Primary School. Because the Caulfield North Primary School has a French bilingual class.
It does.
And he wanted to bring his child to go to school to be part of that French program at the Caulfield North Primary School. And Rosemont Avenue, you literally walk to the end of Rosemont Avenue, turn right, and
you're there.
about 300 or 400 metres you're at the school.
Merci beaucoup and all that stuff.
From Cairns to Caulfield North to study French. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
There you go. Well, why not? Well,
Nice
congratulations. We'll look forward to seeing them around the neighbourhood, Phil. That was the weekend.
You'll notice them because they will be the family on bikes.
Yes,
with a little basket in the front, with baguettes in the front.
I'll be watching.
And red and white checked tablecloth.
Where's the tablecloth going to be?
Well, they might just stop on the side of the road.
Double it as a scarf?
Put out the cloth and have a little picnic with their baguettes and French butter and lovely French jam.
If
you see those, people, say bonjour. Ça va? Yeah. You're an idiot.
You're doing all the talking, buddy. Let's move on, Philip. Before we talk about where we are, or do you want to talk about where we are?
Younger Avenue, Gary, number 14.
How's this house, Phil?
14 Younger Avenue. So
what a great house.
This is a great house in a great street. Think about where you are in this part of Caulfield South, Gary, because you've got the tram of Hawthorne Road on your doorstep.
Just over there.
The little East Brighton Hawthorne Road Village shopping centre. The end of North Road, you're obviously at the beach. You've got Caulfield South Primary School. You've got Gardenvale.
Princess Park.
Correct, Princess Park.
Cafes, restaurants, bars, nightclubs.
The location here is a great location, but Younger Avenue is not a big street, so a lot of people might not have heard of it. This is a picture postcard, perfect facade, Gary.
Great looking house.
Gorgeous house, polished timber floorboards.
Impeccable order, isn't it?
And I really love the veranda at the back of the house overlooking the back garden, just perfect for summer's entertaining. So a really good house, this one.
Al fresco living at its finest all year round, Phil, in this terrific home in Younger Avenue. We look forward to seeing this one coming up soon. Campaign's just started already, good numbers through. Phil, we've got a busy weekend this weekend. We've got 16 auctions. Shall we review them?
Yep, let's go through them.
Okay. Phil, we start Saturday morning in wonderful Bentley East. You've got the honours of doing the auction here at number 8 Aben Avenue. What a fantastic home this is. Sally Zellman's been involved. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Gary, that's a really good house on a really nice parcel of land. 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, ready to move straight into this house. And this really is what Bentley East is all about, buying these homes on good parcels of land. It's just the most incredible area.
It's a great suburb and just continues to get better. Philip, up the road at 11:30, Mr. Jeremy Rosens has the honours of doing the auction of this magnificent contemporary, I think it's probably brand new, isn't it? 6 at 227 MacKinnon Road, MacKinnon. Philip, tell us about this one.
Well, that's architecturally stunning. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, undercover car space for 2 cars. Everything that opens and shuts there. It's just a move straight into a beautiful home.
At 12 and 12:30, Leo Samuel is going to be selling some brand new apartments right on Huntley Road, Phil. Check these ones out.
Gary, whether you're an owner, an occupier or an investor, this is a small boutique building. All of the best facilities of Glen Huntley Road right at your doorstep. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, undercover basement car parking. Just drive down to the basement, Gary, hop into the lift, straight up to your luxury apartment.
Now, Phil, I lived in Allison Road for many years and Adam Josky lived in Seymour Road, which is the next street. And we are, in fact, selling in both those streets this weekend. Firstly, Seymour Road, number 75. Seymour Road, L Street. That one goes up on Saturday. We're looking forward to that one, Phil. And I think I've got the honours of doing that auction. No, you have at 12:30. Tell us about
Gary, this is a gorgeous house. We did GPTV there last week. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. Just the most beautiful facade, north-facing back garden. And Seymour, of course, is one of the 10 best streets of Elstonwick.
There's no doubt about that, Philip. At 1:30, you are heading off to Normanby Road to another beautiful property. We've got some really good real estate this week.
Some really good properties.
Some beauties. And this one is a beauty. Philip, Jeremy Roses has been involved in at 43A Normanby Road in Caulfield North. Tell us a little bit about this property, Phil.
Well, Gary, fully renovated house with a 2nd-storey addition. And this really does show how much house you can get onto smaller parcels of land. So 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. And a great location there. You're really a couple of suburbs for the price of one because you're in the heart of North Caulfield there. But directly across the road, you've got Malvern and Armidale and the Glenferrie Road shopping centres, the Malvern Station, the Caulfield Railway Station, Caulfield Racecourse, so it doesn't get any better than that position.
It doesn't feel an affordable opportunity awaits those investors and first home buyers up in Elmer Road because Leo Samuel is auctioning an apartment at number 99 Elmer Road at 2:30 p.m. Philip, tell us about this one. It looks like a beauty to me.
Yep, it is. That's a great position opposite the park, next door to Fitness First, and 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. And that's just perfect terrific for a first home buyer or an investor. Certainly from an investor's point of view, we manage a lot of property in Allison Road, and from a tenancy point of view, they always lease very quickly.
Philip, we are going to be closing out Saturday with you doing an auction in Phillip Street in Caulfield South. That's a great address, Phillip Street.
Love Phillip Street.
All those streets around there are really emerging and becoming all the more valuable all the time. This one you're going to be doing for Lamore Herskovitz. Tell us a bit about this home, Philip.
Well, if you think about Phillip Street, Gary, it comes off Hawthorne Road, so you're walking distance to the tram in Hawthorne Road, the tram in Glen, Huntley Road, Princess Park on your doorstep, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. That is a great entry into the Caulfield South market.
Phil, that is Saturday, done and dusted. On Sunday, we've got a busy day, Phil. We start off on Sunday morning in Hughton Road, a wonderful apartment. Nikki Janover has been handling this particular property, and it goes up at 10:30am, 2 at 6, Hughton Road, St Kilda East. Tell us a little bit about this apartment, please.
Well, Hughton's one of my favourite addresses, Gary, in East St Kilda, because it's walking distance to our office and the tram in Dandenong Road. Yes. It's a wide and leafy tree-lined street. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. And this building we've sold many times over the years. They're really generous size apartments, so whilst the new ones might have the glitz and glamour, they're really, the new ones are about 30% smaller than this one. So there's a lot of value in these 1960s, 1970s buildings.
There sure is. And while that auction's on, Philip, I'm going to be conducting an auction not far away, but this is a little bit of a hidden secret, this Quetta Avenue. A lot of people don't know that street. I'm not even sure if the reception place still goes. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There's
I think it does.
A little reception place, which is just a sort of a little boutique-y type place. Yep. You've got that on one side of you, and of course on the other side of you, just across the road, you've got the magnificent, picturesque and beautiful historical Ripponlea estate, Philip. But this property in Quetta Avenue is a beauty. This is a very unusual townhouse, Phil, because firstly it's got its own street frontage. Secondly, it has 3 or 4 bedrooms, because downstairs is a 4th bedroom or study. It's leased at the moment, so you can take over the tenant. You don't have to wait too long to get in there. But this is a really terrific property. It's got a north-facing courtyard. Ben Rothschild's been doing a wonderful job handling it. We're expecting some action, Philip, at that particular auction.
Good.
And so there should be. And we wish the vendors who are overseas the best of luck with their auction there, because I've been very involved with it 10:30am.
Well, you might be
Sunday.
Skyping them during the auction, Gary.
They're in the UK. I'll be saying, blimey, that was a good auction, hopefully. But they will be in the UK, and at 10:30, I think it's like 1:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the morning. So it looks like we'll be paying them a little bit of a midnight type visit there, Phil. Let's move on Sunday, because at 11:30am we're going to be in Glen Road. That is Unit 3 at number 131 Glen Road, St Kilda East. Phil, that's
just round the corner, Gary, really, from Quetta Avenue, because this is just near the intersection of Glen Road and Hotham Street. There's a brand new building. There's a gym downstairs, so you buy this property, Gary, go to gym in the mornings. You've got no excuse for not being pumped and fit.
Yes.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, brand new.
Phil, you are going to be holding, that's going to be conducted by Leo Samuel, because you can't get to that auction either, because we're both going to be in Ontario Street at 11:30, Philip. This is the most incredible property. It's got such an amazing presence, and it was so beautifully built. Number 6 Ontario Street, in the heart of Caulfield North. What a great address this is, Phil.
Gary, this is a big house on a fantastic parcel of land. Also beautifully built, solid brick construction, including concrete slab at first level. So houses don't get built like this anymore. 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, garaging for 2 cars, a circular drive, which means you can get more cars in there. Indoor swimming pool. That's a big, fabulous, solid house.
Come and see Arlene Joffe and Adam Josky, who are handling that property, and I'll be there with you, Phil. That's going to be a great auction, I'm hoping. But anyway, we'll see how we go. In Ontario Street, right in the heart of Caulfield North, Phil, we head off after that at 12:30 to Allison Road, Elstonwick, to that magnificent period home. Number 73 Allison Road, Phil. We've talked about it. Tell us one more time about this property.
Well, Gary, obviously we're talking about Allison Road, which is one of the best streets, one of the 10 best streets of Elstonwick.
One of the 5 best streets.
And interesting, I saw an article in Saturday's Age Domain. It got a bit of a write-up last weekend, which really does show what an incredible property it is, owned by a local identity and artist who used the back fantastic office come art studio come in-laws accommodation to run her art studio. But that's a fabulous house, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plenty of car parking there, and really walking distance to the best of Elstonwick attractions.
You're going to be a very busy young man, Philip, on Sunday, if I can call you a young man. Thank you. You'll be going at 1:30 to Estar Road to the most wonderful home. Adam Josky and Joel have been involved in this one. Tell us a little bit about it, Phil.
Well, Estar Road's a really good street, Gary. One of the reasons it's a really good street because my brother-in-law and sister-in-law live in Estar Road. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking, a really lovely period home to look at. And Estar Road is a fantastic location near the park, near the station. Lots of attractions in Estar Road.
Phil, Carnegie's very popular, isn't it?
It is.
It's all happening there at the moment. And if you can buy something in Carnegie at an affordable level, which you still can, you should be getting in and jumping all over it. Perhaps one of our most anticipated auctions of the weekend, and possibly one of our most popular ones, Philip, in terms of numbers, is in Eville Street, Carnegie. Phil, Leor Samuel's going to be having the auction of doing Leor Samuel's going to have the pleasure of doing this auction. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Gary, as you've said, Carnegie is just one of those suburbs that attracting so much attention, both from a livability point of view and an investment point of view, because it's really a well-located suburb. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a garage for a car. Beautiful inside, beautiful outside, and it should be a competitive auction.
Well, somewhere around that 600 plus, I think, Philip, is going to be the price there, but who knows? The auction will tell us, but I know it's been very well received. Philip, there is a beautiful home in Orong Crescent. Sometimes I think we're blessed with the real estate we sell. This one is magnificent. I remember when this was constructed, it was such a unique and special home. Goes up on Sunday afternoon. You've got the honours of auction in this one. Tell us about this number 25
Orong Crescent, Caulfield North. This is a big, glamorous house, Gary. It really doesn't get any better than this on a beautiful parcel of land, much larger than usual. It has the most incredible lounge, dining room, kitchen, meals area with a 2-story atrium void above it, with a library above. So when you walk in the entrance there, it's just kind of got this knockout architecture. So there's not a cent to spend there. It's an as new family home, and obviously we love that part of Caulfield North.
We sure do, Phil. That wraps up the weekend, but we're not done with yet there, Phil, because there is another auction going up on Thursday, the 22nd of May, Philip, which is Thursday week, but we're going to review it today.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary.
That is units 1 to 11 at 22A, I think it is, Crimea Street, St Kilda. Now, that's a pretty unique opportunity.
Well, Crimea Street's one of the area's best streets because you've got a lovely mix of Victorian houses and apartments and townhouse developments.
But Paran one way, St Kilda the other way, East St Kilda back.
Absolutely. So you're walking distance to Chapel Street, whether you want to go Chapel Street Paran or go down to Chapel Street St Kilda and Carlisle Street. You've got railway station on your doorstep. Now, this is a great investment. We're seeing properties like this being sold to investors, to small super funds, and also to developers that buy them and then put them back on the market individually. But this has been held by the same owner for many, many decades. It's in immaculate condition, Gary, and certainly if you're in the market for a fabulous, secure investment, I think that this ticks a lot of boxes, Gary.
It doesn't get any better than a block of flats, I reckon. That is certainly a very big week for us, Phil. There's a lot of high-valued properties. There's some exciting stuff going on, some good opportunities. So if you're out there buying, right across all price ranges, Phil, we've got some amazing offerings to be bringing to the market. As we get into May, the market still feels good.
Let's talk about the market, Gary, because yes, it does feel good, but there's a lot of commentary going on as to what the state of the market is. Across the weekend, there was commentary that the market's cooling. Some people are saying, no, the market's still hot.
It's not hot everywhere, is it?
No. So I think let's be real about this market. I'm finding, Gary, that if a property is true A grade, so if it's an A grade property, whether it be style, condition, location, and certainly to be an A grade property, you've got to kind of tick all of those boxes. Those properties are still going really well. But keep in mind, A grade properties as a percentage of the marketplace are probably less than 10% of the market. So really good properties are still commanding a lot of attention. But anything that's B or C grade property, if it's not priced correctly, Gary, and I think that vendors that might be watching GPTV do need to hear this, pricing is really important because
it is a price-sensitive market.
In order to have a successful campaign, vendors have got to be realistic, and this is always our challenge, is to ensure that vendors are realistic about the pros and cons of their houses. Because it's interesting, there's no such thing as the perfect house. And I use the example of a man's house in Toorak, and his name will remain nameless. But he spent tens of millions of dollars building this home, and he got to the end of it and there were things that he would have preferred to do. It wasn't perfect for him, and yet his budget was
It's a dump.
His budget was unlimited. So there's no such thing as a perfect property. There's just properties that, if they're priced correctly, will generally sell well. Now, a 70% clearance rate across the industry for the
Still a good
weekend
sign.
is a very healthy market.
It is.
But I wouldn't say that 70% is a boom percentage.
No.
A boom percentage really, I think, is
80 to
high
90.
70s through to high 80s. But a 70% is a sign of a healthy, balanced market.
And 83% is a sign of a healthy, balanced market with a good agent at the helm, we'd like to think.
Correct.
It was a good weekend for us, even though it wasn't a very big one in terms of volume. But the market is... Look, it's an interesting market. There's some things that are hotter than others, but overall still strong. And if you're a buyer, there are some good opportunities, so jump on in. And if you're a seller, well, certainly if you look back 2 or 3 years ago, you're getting a lot more now than you did then.
There's no question.
That's for sure.
There's no question, Gary. If you'd sold in the last if you could choose any time to sell in the last 3 years, well, you'd be picking now, because prices are still well and truly up on what they were 12 months ago, 2 years ago, and certainly 3 years ago.
No doubt about that, Philip. And we'll continue to let people know about that, won't we?
We will, Gary, because we want to make sure that people see the market for what it is. And as much as we did have a significant auction clearance last weekend, at the end of the day, whether it's 83% or 70%, it's still a very good market.
It's all good. We'll look forward to keeping you informed with all the real estate news, and we'll see you next week. I'm Gary Pearce.
I'm Phillip Kingston. Have a great week, and thanks again for watching.
Bye.